Mini John stays in, sit down.
Thank you, House Chair. To say the facts honor delivered on the 6th of February was an anticlimax is a serious understatement. The party leader of the MK and myself, we went there with notebooks and pens hoping to take copious notes, but it was not to be. We thought Mr. Ramaphosa was going to start by giving an executive update on the progress made from his 2024 promises. Instead, he began pontificating about some 20 billion per year for transformation fund, and he carefully omitted to say where those funds would come from. As we speak here and now, South Africa is living from hand to mouth, and this leadership or people in the leadership position seem oblivious to this fact. Fellow South Africans, here are three very important realities. We have a widening fiscal deficit, now projected to exceed over 5% of the GDP. Where's the 20 billion going to come from? We are sitting with a growing national debt expected to exceed well over 80% of the GDP by 2026. Where's the 20 billion going to come from? Rising inflation and increased cost of living forcing millions into deeper poverty, with poor households facing a disproportionate 11.3% increase in their food basket. We, as Umkhonto Wesizwe, the new government in waiting, we stand on behalf of the people of South Africa. We stand on behalf of traditional leaders, the unemployed millions of our people, the underpaid and exploited workers, black professionals who suffer racist treatment in workplaces, farm workers, all those who need a better life in this country, including white people. We declare that Umkhonto Wesizwe is a government in waiting, ready to take over yesterday. I'm standing here today, amongst other things, to expose the lies. The MK party will not govern through lies and deceit, unlike the ANC-DA coalition and their fellow travelers in this coalition thing of theirs. We will not represent anything. We will not do what has been done here to misrepresent the Freedom Charter. We will state the Freedom Charter as it is. It's quite despicable that Mr. Ramaphosa comes and talks about the Freedom Charter, but there's not one thing from the Freedom Charter that he has ever done. The Freedom Charter says the mineral wealth beneath the soil, the banks, and monopoly industries shall be restored to the people. When we say this, they call us destroyers, they call us unconstitutional, and all these funny words. The Freedom Charter says the land shall be shared amongst those who work it. Our people work the land every day, and they are not having any share in the ownership. For us in the MK party, platitudes don't work. We see you. We will not falsely claim that there were 300 days without load shedding, when in reality it was disguised as load reduction, Comrade Putla. Maybe there was no load shedding in the suburbs where the neoliberals in the GNU live. But in the township, people are struggling with the so-called load reduction. We will not manipulate statistics, Minister Nchaveni, as we have in the 2022 census, where the nation has been given a false claim that 82% of households have piped water. But Stats SA does not say that in those pipes that are there, some of those pipes are dry. Some of those pipes are spewing water you cannot drink. So that statistic is meaningless. We are not going to lie about the land reform. The Expropriation Act that everybody is talking about is not a progressive document, but just a tool to delay land reform. The term nil compensation is deceitfully used to confuse many in the ANC because they get easily confused. It's not the same thing as no compensation, fundamental difference. The people of South Africa are fortunate that the MK party is here to expose these monkey tricks. We will not pretend that apartheid is a thing of the past. When you look at the household income, the race element is very strong. Africans in the top quintile are only 13.7%. Coloreds are only 20.3%. Indians, 40%. And the whites in the top quintile are occupying 73%. Is this what united in our diversity should mean? You would have thought that with a statistic like that we'll have a situation where Employment Equity Act is going to be prioritized. This act
sorry,
was passed.
Honorable Mani, just a minute. Please, honorable members, who are conversing aloud in this house, can we allow the speaker on the podium to be able to address the house? Thank you.
It's MK.
Mr. Speaker.
On what are you rising, honorable member? Can you check your seat?
Mr. Speaker.
On what are you rising?
Mr. Speaker, the Speaker is totally not audible. We can't hear him. There's something wrong with the sound system. So if you could please address that and allow him to begin his speech again, please. You can't hear him. That's why members are trying to raise this point. You can't hear the speakers. There's something wrong with the sound system.
The problem is not the sound system, it's the content.
Or is it a sabotage?
Sabotage. Saying nothing.
Sabotaging our
There is nothing wrong with the system.
We're starting afresh.
The problem is that Honorable Tutu Zuma did not approve that speech.
Give him more time.
Honorable Mani.
The speech was not approved by Tutu Zuma. That's the problem.
The speech.
Please, let us have.
He needs to start again, Mr. Speaker. We can't hear a thing.
Thank
You
you.
don't want to politically
Let us
cover
start
over.
from the beginning, Chair. We didn't hear.
The technical team will up the issue of the mic.
nothing
there.
wrong. He's talking
There's
hogwash.
nothing wrong with the mic, Chairperson. It's the
We
content.
cannot even hear you,
Mr.
Mr. Speaker. We can't even hear you.
He's just talking
There's
hogwash.
nothing wrong with the sound. We can hear him.
Honorable Zagute.
Hello. There's nothing wrong with the sound. We can hear him.
We didn't ask you, though.
Thank you very much, Honorable House Chairperson. Honorable House Chairperson,
Sivile
thank you
ihogwash.
very much.
Over to you, Honorable Zagute.
Thank you very much, Honorable House Chairperson. All speakers were audible. I want to advise Honorable Mani to come closer to the mic because his voice is too soft. We can't hear what he's saying, but we've been hearing all the other speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable
Papa, we
Mani.
heard
the
Papa
content.
Please, Hello, Papa, please, come help.
Chairperson.
All right, you can
Only now when we rise and raise an objection, the audibility of the speaker is
You are killing the mind.
Honorable member. Honorable member.
making a plea
Honorable
that
member.
the speech
You
of
are
the
downing the speaker.
You are downing the
Take your
speaker.
seat. Take your seat. You can only speak when I recognize.
This is not audible.
Please, take your
This
seat.
is not even audible, Chair.
Hello.
Don't touch that mic. Why are you touching it?
You can
Don't
only
touch
speak.
it. The issue is the
Chair,
content,
we
not the
cannot even
sound.
hear you. We can't even hear you.
You are downing the speaker. Yourself.
One, T.
So, the mic is clearly audible. The sound is clearly audible. Honorable Mani, can you resume your speech, please? We are having 2 minutes to go.
Give me time.
I've just made a ruling, Honorable Mani. You have 2 minutes to go. All the other members were audible. The MKP were supposed to go closer to the mic. Please. Continue to speak.
He's used to acting in every part. This is not rehearsal and chaos.
Don't play to the gallery. Don't play to the gallery. Get on.
We can't even hear you, Chair.
Chair, we can hear him from here. So, Chairperson, how much time am I adding? Are you adding? How much time are you adding?
Don't play to the
Because
gallery.
it's here, it's a technical problem. Confirm.
Now we can hear.
Uncle Kwete, kahle Uncle Kwete. Sit down, Uncle Kwete.
Liyaphela ixesha ngoku.
Kahle Uncle
Liyaphela
Kwete.
ixesha.
Jim, you're in the house.
Time is up.
Papa Penny.
All right.
Papa Penny.
The time which is here is 2 minutes.
Time is up. Time is up.
Yeah, 4 minutes is fine.
Okay. Deal.
Mafiki solo.
Okay. One would have thought. Okay, here's another point of
Honorable
order.
Mani, there's another point of order over there.
Honourable Chairperson, it is most certainly a point of order. If the Honourable Member at the podium is given an additional time allocation, we all want additional time allocation.
We can give you, it's fine.
You have no authority to add on to his time. I listened to Honourable Mani the whole time. I could hear what he was saying. And then they asked him to repeat his speech. You have no authority to add on to his time. If you give him more time, we want more time.
All right. Honorable Mani.
Okay, thank you.
Mani.
Thank you, Chair. You are in
Honorable
charge
Mani,
here.
I'm still have to make a ruling. Please take a seat. What is very important here is that a ruling has been made, and the ruling cannot be overruled in the House. I think what you are raising, the member from Action SA, please, you can write to the relevant office so that you raise the issue. So the issue of drowning was part of the House as a whole. So the ruling has been made. He's going to get those minutes which are given. Please, if you got anything, go back to the land. Thank you. Over to Honorable.
Long live the Chair.
How many are those minutes?
Minutes.
You're starting now.
Honorable Mantashe.
Sit down,
Honorable
Uncle
Mantashe, you
Kwete.
cannot,
Tiger, paper
you
tiger.
cannot speak without being recognized. Please. Honorable
Why was the clock not stopped?
Okay.
Hey, Kwete, shut up.
Thank you. All right.
We cannot hear him, Chair.
I was saying,
Please say something this time.
the employment.
Honorable Mani, there's another point of order.
Okay.
Chief Whip of the
One more
opposition.
extra again. Make it 5.
Official.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My hand has been up for quite a while. Thank you for finally recognizing me. The first point that I want to make, Chair, is that in terms of Rule 57 on a point of order, the point of order needs to be raised at the time when the transgression occurs. So the members who did not hear the Honourable Mani should have stood up at the point when they couldn't hear him and not wait for 10 minutes for him to continue with his speech. But I will respect the fact that you made a ruling and we will challenge it. The actual reason why I'm standing, Honourable Chair, is in terms of Rule 40, and I want you to please read it with Rule 41, and that is with regards to gross disorderly conduct, and specifically Rule 40F. When members act in any other way that seriously, to the serious detriment of the dignity, decorum, and orderly procedure of the House. Read with Rule 41, which is where members are ordered to leave the chamber. I would like to ask you, what we've seen over the last while, over the last few minutes at least, was gross disorderly conduct in this House. And I would like to ask you to consider Rule 41, to ask those members who are responsible for that to leave the House if they continue with this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip of the TA. But you know very well the very same rules of the point of order is that when a ruling has been made, no other point of order can be raised on the same issue which is raised. So I'll allow Honorable Mani to continue with her speech. Thank you.
You should have raised the point when the issue was happening, not now.
Continue, wena.
Procedure manye ubeka ngokwakho kuba mani. Kuba mfondini.
Kwete, this is not an ANC meeting.
The
Keep
point
quiet.
I was making
Honorable
is
Mantashe,
that
you
if
cannot
this...
speak without being recognized, please.
Kwete.
The point I was making is that if Mr. Ramaphosa was serious about transformation, there was an opportunity presented in the 6th administration where Employment Equity Act was passed somewhere around May 2022 by the 6th administration parliament. It got promulgated in May 2023. And then from there, and then from there it was never implemented. And it was just, it's been passed with all those amendments, just to get the votes. After the votes, it also stalled. It's only now in January that this act is now going to be unleashed. This just shows that Mr. Ramaphosa is not serious about transformation. We have an NDP here, a carefully crafted plan, poorly implemented, this NDP. It has missed all targets. It doesn't matter which target you look at, it has missed. So we're sitting here with a government that has got a radar that is off course. If we look at, for instance, the issue of employment target, the NDP said by 2030 would have reached unemployment of 6%. Where are we now? On the expanded definition, we're sitting at 41%. The 2030 on the poverty eradication, it said by 2030 we'll have zero poverty. We'll have eradicated it to zero. Where are we now? We're at 40%. When are we going to get to zero in the next 5 years? 2030 said we're going to reduce inequality. We've got the most embarrassing situation in this country, that the inequality under Mr. Ramaphosa is even worse than in apartheid days. Serious problem. This so-called GNU, if it was a GNU, it would have included the traditional leaders, it would have included all those people, but it excluded them. This is what the MKP party is going to do on land expropriation. We will table a private members bill. We will table a private members bill to do two things: expropriation without compensation, number one. Number two, we are going to push back that date of 19 June 1913 to 6 April 1652, when Jan van Riebeeck set foot here. That's what we're going to do. South Africa will shift in terms of its global relations. We will move away from the West and associate more with the BRICS. On higher education, we will make sure that we have a decolonized higher education for all. We will support the debt cancellation program that is being proposed here. We will cut out NSFAS as a middleman and make sure that government pays directly to the institutions concerned. We will ensure that there's parliament sovereignty, so that when parliament makes a decision, you don't have courts second-guessing what parliament has said.
Are you charging Dudu?
We reiterate our call from our Commander General, His Excellency President Zuma, the founding president of the MKP party, that all progressive forces must unite so that we can defeat the monster. Mandla!
Dololo content. Dololo content.
Waste of 2 minutes.
All right, honorable members. I think that the speaker's list has been concluded. The speaker's list has been concluded. The
Ah,
final
it's a
speaker,
ruling. It's a ruling.
Honorable-
We have ruled on that.